Hello and welcome. My name is Oliver Riepel. I am the chief of golf sport company in Austria, in Europe, and I'm also the representative for Uneekor in Europe. We are doing here today a test between the both Uneekor systems, so the QED and the EyeXo. This video will be uncutted, so we don't cut anything away. And we do just a comparison test, ball data only. So the parametrics here in our setup are quite easy. We have a GSK quad, as you see here. We have an QED, which is up there, and we have an EyeXo. We're interchanging that between the test. For the test, we are using one of our QED GSK tour balls, which you see, which have this pattern. Honestly, this pattern is not optimal, which looks for the quad. Sometimes the quad makes issues with this. So if you have kind of weird ball data, maybe can be because of this ball. With the EyeXo, we have not really seen this, so there should be no things. We're just using a 7-iron here without any stickers on it, so there is no club data. This is really just about the ball data. So this is really just about what does the ball be measured. Because actually, if you take it in mind, this is actually what counts in golf, what the ball has been done and how the ball has been tracked. Said that, we're using for the test with the EyeXo a normal Pro V1 practice ball. I have got out that of my bag a moment ago. So this is how we do the test. We're doing 10 shots. Try to make after every shot kind of give explanation, a comparison about the ball data. This test, and this I have to say one and for all, is not to make anything bad or to make anything good. It's really just to show a comparison between these two systems. Actually, because the Foresight Sports is kind of one of the, let's say, reference tools in our game. And I just want to show how Uneekor is performing against this machine. That said, this is not about making something bad or wrong or something like this. This is really just a test about that. So let's start. I've done here, as you may see, opened the Ignite software where you see the ball data here and where you see also the ball data there. As said, there is no club data whatsoever. After every shot with the Foresight Sports, you will see as well see here the ball data. That's a live video. We don't put any statistics in afterwards. It's really just one live video. So try to make as good shots as possible. So maybe get my phone out before I start with all that. So 7-iron, normal ball. Ball is ready also on the QED. Let's start it out. My normal ball curvature is slightly right to left. And as you see on both, more or less the curve on the driving range looks like the same. Look at the data, 144 carry for the QED, 142 carry for the quad. Backspin, 6158 to 6081, more or less identical. Side spin, 811 left to 508. Ball speed, 113.9 to 1112. Quite the same. This is a metrics, so that's meters. If you want to use that in yards, you usually have to add around about 10% on that. So you get the distance on that. Next shot. Shot number 2. Again, usual good strike. If you see it on the driving range on both systems, it's more or less the same data again. 148, 5906 on the quad, on the QED, with 115 ball speed. So on the quad, we have 114 ball speed. Launch angle 19.4 to 19.1. Side spin 722, 580. Carry distance 146, 148.3. What we have recognized at the quad is, what's that, like a percent, round about a percent, always a little bit less long on carry distance than actually the QED is. But actually you see more or less the same data points. Again, a good strike. 7-iron once again. My usual 7-iron distance is 145 meters. It's 160 yards roundabout. 141 that one landed a little bit to the right, so which means maybe on the ball spin data. So launch angle. So we take a look at the launch direction now. 1.2 launch direction here 2.2. That's maybe, if you see it here, kind of a so they don't compare that much, but it's slightly not. It's offline by 4 meters on the quad. It shows it slightly right. The QED shows it slightly left of the target, which I would see. I would see this because the side spin has been calculated more on the quad. So which means actually the quad here has put a little bit less side spin in mind, but actually still 141 carry to 141 carries. It's exactly the same data, 6183, 6182. Backspin is identical by 1 RPM. So this is really amazing. Let's take a look at this one again. So make another one. Oh, that was fat. That was a bad shot. Good. That's just good ones. Was really left. 121 carry. What does the quad say? 121 carry. So identical data here on the carry distance. Was a bad shot. It was for sure a bad shot. 1549 side spin, 3421 on backspin. Offline 19.9 meters. How was that here? Oh, that's not, you don't see that here. As said, if you take this in mind, the QED ceiling-based system, left and right-handed, is having more or less the same data points. It's actually, it's with the balls, with the dotted balls from us, really actually the same data points. I will take now maybe, let's say, a higher lofted wedge, low lofted wedge, kind of do, let's say, a 50-degree wedge, for instance. I'll go here, make a 50-degree. So this is a 50-degree wedge now, a Titleist Vokey, 50-degree. Usually should end up at around about 100 and 105 meters on carry. Oh, it was a good strike. As you see, also on both systems, flights more or less identical, 107 carry with the quad, with the QED, 107 carry with the quad. Ball speed 93. As you see, this data point, once again, take a look at these numbers here. Take a look at that. It's really amazing. 9187 RPM backspin, 9178. That's inside of 10, more or less. 10 RPM difference between these two systems. It's really, really amazing what a unit can do. Again, a shot with the 50-degree wedge. Oh, that was thin. Good, it was thin. 104, 9.4 launch angle. Not a good one. 103 carry, 97.8 ball speed. As you also see here, it's more or less identical. Launch angle, what we have seen. This is one we have seen. This launch angle is kind of 1 to 2 degrees difference on both systems. Actually, honestly, I believe here the quad a little bit more. It looks like that the side standing position is of course better to track the launch angle. But on the launch direction, so which if it goes left or right, I think the QED makes a better job actually, because this is usually I'm hitting it a little bit right. Quad usually shows it a little bit much on the right side. And I usually use, of course, we have used here the alignment sticks to make it proper, to have a calibration that works. So, once again, the last one, 50-degree. Was again a good stroke. Slightly left of the line. Actually, and this is where it now comes, where I see the quad has it a little bit offline, 1.4. The QED shows it a little bit left. Honestly, kind of what my curvature usually is, I would trust more the left side because it was a little bit kind of hitted it out. Actually, it's maybe because of side spin 1027 to 1468. Could be, as said, I have sometimes the imagination that the the balls with the dots a little bit confusing the foresight system sometimes, but still, it's the same carry, more or less. It's 1 meter difference. It's more or less the same landing point. Launch angle 25 to 23, ball speed 93 to 95. So we are in between 1%. And if you imagine how much it would mean if you could play by 1% good golf, that means that you actually are on a 250-yard drive, you're 2.5 yards offline. And when you have a 150-yard shot to the green, you're 1.5 yards away from the hole. And then you have 1% on the putting. You just play birdies, eagles, and albatrosses in the future. So that's how good these units already are. So as said, we're just moving over, kind of doing stuff. There's a live video, so we really try to get that as live as possible. So we have to quit the Ignite system here. We have to, because we have a dual setup, we have to disable the QED first and then enable the EyeXo. I have to admit, sometimes this changing in between makes some issues, but usually it's not a big deal, so it should work out. So we have here windowed screen. So quit play, here we go. So now we're moving from the dotted ball for the QED. As said, we move to the ball from a normal golf ball. No dots, no whatsoever, just one thing out of the case. So it's really kind of how you buy it in the pro shop. Started out here. It looks activated, so it should work without any issues. Try to get the window over a little bit more so we move that over here. As said, here as well. So we use an iron, we use a premium ball. As said, here as well, we don't look at the club data. Club data is deactivated because we don't have any stickers on it. So there's really just about the ball data. So here we go. Again, 7 iron shots. Move the window up a little bit so you see me playing, so you see that I'm not faking anything here. So here we go. Okay, so I have to get rid of that here. Go up here. Not that easy in a live video. Usually you can cut it down. So, but you see, we don't manipulate anything. So we place the ball here. Ball is placed, normal ball, 7 iron shot with the EyeXo. Again, if you take a look, more or less the same curvature. It's 140 carry. How much says the... I think it says the same. I have to move it over 140 as well. So carry distance is the same. It's identical. Also here, always the QED system or the Uneekor system is always a little bit on the high side with the side spin. It's taking more backspin, 6,200 to 6,000 with the quad ball speed, 110 to 111. Yeah, so this also looks very good. So I just try to move it a little bit over here so we get a little bit better picture of all that. So get it here. Okay, so again, that's a live video. We don't do any cuts. We just want to show the comparison between these systems. Same here. 140 carry distance, side total 12.2 meters left. Oh, not so good hit it. But I think that's a data point we can also get on the quad. 9.9 meters offline for the quad. Carry 140, it's identical again. 5.411 backspin. 1.2 to the right launch angle. 0.8 on the EyeXo. So here also as well, it's more or less identical. That should be a little bit on the right side normally. Again here, 145 carry, backspin 5522. As well, curvature 143 on the quad. Ball speed more or less identical, again 20 degrees. So as you see, it's also here, it's more or less the same data points. So kind of ball data wise, these three systems compared between each other more or less make the same job. Well, a little bit thin. Tried to a little bit hook it, to be honest. And actually, this is something where I always say, if you take the curvature on the EyeXo, this would be the point where my ball ended up. This was kind of heavy rotation in my forearm. 142 carry, 139, so that's more or less as well identical. I don't believe the 5.7 meters left offline on that shot on the quad. I believe the more like 7.3. It's more or less the same in the graphics. It looks like the graphics are kind of a little bit misleading here, but actually I thought it would be a way worse shot, to be honest. But still, if you take that in mind, I just have seen it wrong. It looks like that the graphics, that the measurement is more or less identical again. So I try to make a very hooky shot now. Oh, that was a shank. So here we go. Let's take this shank in mind. 146.1 was not really a shank, it was a hosel hit. 142. 333, almost no side spin. Yes, correct. 890. So you see also on a very, very bad shot that this one here is really taking it in mind that you really, even if you had a bad shot, it's the same measurement. So this really makes me really happy about our systems, to be honest, because it shows how good it is actually compared to the reference model. So we go in here again, making another 50-degree wedges. So 50-degree wedges. Again, very good shot here as well. Looks really like it's moving the window up here a little bit so I can be inside. So let's go around that. Very good. 102. Oh, I have to move the window in front again. 102, 88 ball speed, 89. Carry distance 101 to 102. Again, I don't have to remember it, I think, all the time. I think this speaks for itself. It's more or less the same data points on all the shots we do here. Good strike from my point of view. A little bit left, yes. Fortunately, it was left. 110 carry, 7,738 backspin on the EyeXo. The offline 109, so 109. Offline 4.8 meters, 7.7 meters. As said, I usually on the offline data, this is the only. I think that's kind of because of mathematics, maybe work differently on these two systems. This is something where I believe the EyeXo a little bit more. Because I think, that's my feeling, that I usually when I see my game normally as that I have a left tendency, especially when I'm hitting it a little bit kind of outdoors or want to kind of drive the ball a little bit better. So let's do it again here. And again, beauty, that usually should end up in the middle of the fairway or middle of the green. 0.7 side total on the EyeXo and 107 carry, identical numbers, 2.4 meters offline. So actually, if I take this in mind, if I could hit it like this, how these units are tracking it, I would be really happy. I maybe have not to sell any golf simulator systems then, because I would be a good golfer. What kind of the conclusion of everything. At the end of the day, we have seen now here in this video that the Uneekor products are really making a good job compared to the reference of a full-size sports quad. We have not kind of manipulated anything, we just hit it normal shots, and as I said, it's all about the ball data here. It's not about the club data because, and this is in fact, that same works for foresight, ball data and club data are two different things in this camera-based systems. The ball data will be tracked no matter what they have taken on data on the club. So which means actually the ball is the ruler in this thing. So this is what actually counts when you play golf indoors. That's the reason why if you have stickers or not, don't make any kind of big difference at the end of the day. So I hope this video helped you guys a little bit decide on whether or not if this is good or not for your setup. At the end, you have seen it's really working pretty well. If you're in Europe, try to contact me. If you're in America, go to uneekor.com. If you're in Australia, contact our friends from Golf Simulators Australia. And if you're in Asia, then call our headquarters in Seoul. My name is Oliver Riepel. I'm from the Golf Sport Company, Uneekor in Europe, and I hope you enjoyed that video here.